Energy performance certificates are mostly overlooked when buying a property, but they are important for those purchasing properties, landlords and tenants. What is an energy performance certificate and why are they important? Watch this video right till the end to find out. So let's get straight in. Hi, if we haven't met before, I'm Dan and I'm a CeMAP qualified mortgage and protection advisor. I wanted to speak to you this week about energy performance certificates, also known as EPCs. If you've ever bought a property, ask yourself, have you ever looked at the energy performance certificate before putting in a formal offer? As a tenant, has this ever been something you looked at when renting a property? I'd say for the vast majority, they haven't. So let me explain why it's important. Firstly, what is an energy performance certificate? I've taken this straight from the government's website. An EPC gives a property an energy efficiency rating from A, most efficient, to G, least efficient, and is valid for 10 years. An EPC contains information about a property's energy use and typical energy costs, and recommendations about how to reduce the energy use and save money. So when do I need an energy performance certificate? Energy performance certificates are needed whenever a property is built, sold or rented. So you must order an EPC for potential buyers and tenants before you market your property to sell or rent. The best way to explain what they cover is to use an example. So let's use my home's current energy performance certificate, which was issued in March 2016. I'd like to add this EPC is no longer accurate as we bought the property in November 2019 and it had been completely renovated after the EPC was issued. As you can see from the image on the screen, my house is currently an EPC rating of an F. If I wanted to rent this property out or even sell it, I would have to have a new EPC issued showing all the changes which have been made. We would expect it to be a C. Currently, the EPC rating needs to be E or above to rent it out, but by 2025, this would need to be a C. So if we had an EPC rating of an F and no changes had been made, then we'd have a significant amount of work to carry out to get it to a C, but thankfully it was done for us and we didn't need to get our hands dirty. The government's website gives us a list of reasons why it is rated an F and what we can do to change this, which is rather helpful. So you can look at this and it will give you a rough idea of what work will need to be done if you're looking to purchase the property. Or if you're a landlord, you can start planning on implementing these changes in preparation for 2025. So let's go through the reasons why my property was an F and what changes are recommended to be carried out to get it to the C, which it said we can achieve on the previous image. So as you can see here, the majority of the property was rated very poor, which unsurprisingly is the worst rating of them all. So I suspect the heating bills in this house would have cost an absolute fortune. But not only that, the impact on the environment was high, which can be shown as an estimate on the screen. It's not good, is it? So how do we improve this property's energy performance? These are the recommendations and the estimate of costs. It also provides you with the typical yearly savings, which is also very helpful. When looking at purchasing a property and an EPC rating is below what it needs to be, i.e. for landlords an E currently, but C by 2025, you can look up the property on the government's website and find out how much work really needs doing. If you're a first-time buyer or a home mover, this may allow you to renegotiate the price you pay for the property. If you're selling your property, it might be worth you carrying out the work before putting it on the market so you can get the maximum price for the property. You can see from the images on the screen the property was in a bad way before they renovated it and put it on the market. The house is still quite expensive to run because a lot of it is open plan, which is another thing to consider when buying a property. It wasn't enough to put me off buying the property, but it certainly was something at the back of my mind. If you don't want to trawl through all of this data and you want an overall estimated energy cost for the property and also an overall estimated cost to put it right, you can scroll to the very bottom and it gives you the summary. It also provides you with the assessor's contact details. So if you want a new EPC carried out after the changes have been made, you won't have to hunt on the internet for someone. As mentioned previously, for landlords, the EPC rating is going to need to be a C or above by 2025. This is a target the government have put in place. And to my understanding, if you're in breach of this rule, you could face a hefty fine of up to £5,000 from your local authority. Without a valid EPC, it can also be hard to find new tenants because it is illegal to advertise a property without one. Letting agents and the property portals like Rightmove and Zoopla will not run listings without a valid EPC. There is a lot more I can go through on this very subject, but it may not be relevant to you. So as always, please do your own research about your specific circumstances. There is a lot of information online, and I've also provided a few links to the government's website in the description below. If you found this video helpful and you would like weekly updates on all things associated with mortgages and buying properties, please consider subscribing using this button here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.